Good morning. This is Mona and this is my morning view. Today, winter edition of 2026. It is Memory Monday. So, I'm out here a little later than I normally am because I've already been out here. And it's a new time schedule. To boot, the sun is shining. Blue skies, absolute blue skies. It is a beautiful day. Notice I am not all bundled up. I do have my gloves because if I stay out here too long, it does get a reflection of cold from the snow that is still lingering on the ground. Or it's probably about 18 inches right now of snow still lingering around the house. So it is chilly because of it just kind of radiating up. But it is a beautiful day. And I heard it's going to be warm for the next couple of days, and then it's going to go back cold again. So we'll see what happens there. The weather. All right. Today's Memory Monday. So if you've noticed, I've already titled this because I have been pondering something this morning. I've actually been pondering it for a while. It's one of those thoughts in my head that just keep cranking around. And I'll just wait for this plane to go by because it can get noisy. I'm going to go ahead and take off that glove. I can stick my hand in my pocket if it gets cold. All right. Oh, we're really close again. Really close. All right. Lean. There. If I lean back and I extend the phone out, holding on to my elbow, we might be able to get this done. All right, Memory Monday. Okay, so the thought on my head is, I think about Joshua and Caleb a lot as I'm getting older. You know, I don't like that phrase. My daughter's constantly reminding me of my age and saying, you know, you aren't getting any younger, Mom. You're getting older, Mom. And it's like, I don't have to come into agreement with that, which is another lesson, maybe tomorrow's. But because of that, I do think about Joshua and Caleb. And I keep wanting to say their names combined. So they were given back the 40 years that they had to wander in the wilderness when they were ready to take the land 40 years prior, right? But because of the sin of the rest of the Israelites, the sin of the nation, basically, they had to endure the 40 years themselves. And it's like, and some people are like, oh, that's kind of not fair. But then they got to lead going into the promised land. Now they're older, but they have the strength of their youth. And they were given an extra 40 years to their life. So, with that, the idea of where the scripture says that he gives you the years that the locust has eaten. See, the locust, in this sense for them, was the 40 years in the wilderness because of all the murmurs, complainers, and those that did not trust God. Everybody has their own locust. And it says the years. It'll give back the years. It'll restore the years. That's what it says. See, Joshua and Caleb got their years given back. But this scripture says he will restore the years that the locust has taken. So for me, in my thought here, okay, not only is there this idea that actual years will be given and we will have the strength of our youth, but also the restoring of the years. As we get older, things need to happen faster. They need to happen faster because our time on this earth is limited. There is a time appointed for man to die. So the longer you're on the earth, that's less time on this earth that you're going to have. And for those years, for the people that are older and they have had locusts and rust and everything, just everything destroying, the moth, when things are destroyed throughout the years, and God says, I'm going to restore those years. There's this, remember, God's not in a time capsule. He's not limited by time. And so he can create a space in our mind where we can learn faster, do something faster than we've done before. Have you ever noticed that when you actually pray first thing in the morning, that you get a little bit more productive during the day? That if you decide to skip the morning prayers, the morning study, the morning reading of the Word, whatever it is, the morning without God, because you don't have the time. I'm guilty of this, really bad guilty. Okay, so because I have so many things to do and so little time to do it, that it would take me at least 10 of me and I still wouldn't finish it all in a lifetime. But, and because of that, I'll be like, well, I'll skip this morning's prayer time. I'll skip this morning's reading time because I need to get started on this. We need to finish this today. And then it doesn't get finished. It doesn't. Everything comes popping in and nothing gets finished. The locusts come in, the moth comes in, the rust corrupts, all of it, right? But when I pray and I spend some time with the Lord, and even though, like, God didn't tell me anything, that I know of. And sometimes I feel like, I'm just, time is ticking here, you know. Even when I just spend that time with the Lord, I may not finish, but I'm more productive than I was before. I might get a little bit farther than I would have had I not spent time with the Lord. And I know some of you know what I'm talking about with this. But yes, sometimes we still go, I'm going to save that time and go do the stuff that I got to get done. Or let me do this first, and then when I get done, I'll sit down and I'll be with the Lord. And that never happens because we get further and further and further behind. So I was reading in Proverbs today, and it came up with, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So our time with the Lord is showing that we have fear with the Lord, fear of the Lord, because it's that honest, that hey, God's mighty, I'm not, So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Now, what is wisdom really? It's really knowing what to do and when to do it. What's the right timing for it too, correct? So wisdom to give God your first in the morning, which, again, guilty of not doing that. Giving him our first in the morning, it may not be our best, okay? Some of us are not morning people. I'm not an evening people. I'm not an afternoon people. I'm barely a people. But some of us have more energy at certain times of the day. And depending on what that time of the day, that would be your best time. So giving God your best time is good. But acknowledging him in the morning, spending a quiet time. Maybe not studying, because if you're going to study his word or read his word early in the morning and you're just like groggy and you're not comprehending it, it's okay. It's okay. You may need to give God your best time. However, when you wake up and you give him some time, acknowledging his existence, acknowledging that you cannot go through this day without him, then you're acknowledging him as Lord. And that is the beginning of the fear of the Lord. And that is wisdom. All right, so let's get my hair out of my face. Okay, so it talks about knowledge of the Holy One. Is the beginning of understanding. Knowledge of the Holy One. Well, how do you get the knowledge of the Holy One? That's studying his word. So you have your quiet time and your prayer time, the time that you spend with the Lord, and then there's study time, knowing the Lord, getting to know who he is and who he is through the scriptures. So you have the beginning of the beginning of wisdom is to fear the Lord. That's just the beginning. And understanding through the knowledge of the Holy One. And then it goes on to say, next scripture, next verse, he multiplies your days. He multiplies your days. Okay, I got a deadline. I got to get this done by this time. And somehow, you don't see how it's going to happen, but it does. It's multiplied your days. He could be multiplying your days on this earth, stacking them up. And then he says he adds years. So he multiplies days and he adds years. And going back to that, he will restore the years that the locust has eaten. And whatever locust has eaten, whatever crop you have, he will restore that. The years. He may not restore the crop itself, but you're going to have a crop. He's restoring the years. Notice the years, the word years. He's restoring the years. He's not restoring the crop that the locust has eaten. He is restoring the years. So whatever he has for you, and your years seem to have been wasted, trust in the Lord that his word is true. And there's restoration on the way. And it looks different for all of us. So I'm just going to leave you with that. Blessings, everybody. Have a great day. I will see you maybe tomorrow. I may not be on tomorrow. I have to take the dog to get an x-ray. So, and it's in the morning that I have to be there. So, I may not have a morning view in the morning. If I get an opportunity, I will have an afternoon view called the morning view. All right. All right. Blessings, everybody. Have a great day. And I'll see you either tomorrow, or Wednesday. Blessings. Oh, before I forget, I forgot to tell you what to do. See, I don't tell you what to do when I talk about spiritual matters, but I do tell you something what to do. I give you suggestions, but this is a to-do. Go over to YouTube, Mona E. Harrison. You'll see my white hair. You'll see my beautiful face, and you will know you are in the right spot. And subscribe. Subscribe. So go over to YouTube, Mona E. Harrison, where you will find a full year's worth of content. I have my year anniversary this month, the beginning of the month. So with my year anniversary, I have a full year of content that you can watch on fast speed, which you can't do on Facebook unless you're on a computer with a speed controller, which I do not believe they have for the phone yet. So go over to YouTube, Mona E. Harrison, hit subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. If I can, there it is.